Good morning, boys and girls. I am Miss Wynn. If you didn't have my class, um, you've seen me down the hallway. Uh, Today, in this video, we are going to talk about equivalent fractions. What are equivalent fractions? Equivalent fractions are the different fractions that represent the same amount. For this mini lesson, you will need a sheet of paper. Just go ahead and get a few sheets of paper. Your instructional package, if you have it picked it up at the district centers, and pencil, or if not, a crayon, whatever you prefer to write with, or color pencil markers, because we are going to do some writing fraction and coloring. How fun! Liam likes that. All right, if you need to stop to do anything, just pause your video. You need to stop to think. Also, pause the video or write down something. Pause the video so you won't miss hearing what I have to say, because I don't want to make this video longer than it's supposed to be. So go ahead and fold your piece of paper in half and shade one half, just like I have one here. So you have your original piece of paper that represents one whole, and then you fold it into equal parts, hopefully. And I want you to use whatever that you want to use and shade one half, and also write one half on the shaded part, so that we will see that part, that shaded part, is one half of this one whole. Okay, you want to write it that way. Remember, there are different ways to write fraction. You can also write this way as well. And I'm sorry, my handwriting is not my true handwriting. I'm just trying to write using my touchpad on my laptop. Okay, so one half, this shaded part represent one half. All right, let's fold it again. So once you fold it, yours in one half, color it, label it. Now fold your piece of paper again into something looks like this. Once you folded it, and then you open it. So originally we have the shaded part as one half, but if you look at your piece of paper right now, okay, what would be the fraction for the shaded part now? Okay, you need to pause the video to think for a second. You can. Some of you guys already get it. So if you said 2/4, that's my 2/4, okay, you are correct. Okay, so this is the shaded part for this fraction now is 2/4. So what can we say? How do we describe one half, fractions one half, and fraction 2/4? We can say that one half and 2/4 are equivalent fractions. So they are equal to each other, meaning they are representing, remember, fractions are special number that represent the same amount. So we think about what amount of a whole is it representing. So this one half and 2/4 are equivalent fraction because they represent the same amount. The shaded parts are the same. The pieces are different, but the shaded part are the same amount. So they are equivalent fractions. Easy peasy. Equivalent, word equal. Okay, now fold them again and again and write down two more equivalent fractions. Come up with two more equivalent fractions. So pause your video and fold it again. Write down an equivalent fraction that you just made for the shaded part, and do it again. So if you come up with 4/8, okay, and 8/16 as your two new equivalent fractions, you are correct. So all of these fractions are equivalent fractions. We have 1/2, 2/4, 4/8, and 8/16 as They are all equivalent fraction. They all represent the same amount. We never shaded more. We just those shaded parts are now partitioned or divided into more equal parts. All right, let's look at your fraction charts here. We have 9 holes total here. So let's look. 1 hole in red, blue, 2, green, 3, 4, yellow, 5, orange, 6, purple, 7, beige, lilac, 9, 10. Oh, there are 10 holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 9. I knew it was 9. It was 9 holes total. Okay. They all in different color. The only difference is they all the same holes. So if you look, they all the same size. These holes are the same size. The only difference, they all partitioned into different equal parts. So these are they partitioned into halves and thirds and fourths, fifths, sixths, eighths, tens, and twelfths. The reason why I can tell how many equal parts so quickly is because I'm looking at the denominator. Remember, denominator shows or indicate how many equal parts that one whole is partitioned into. So if you don't, you want to make sure you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's explore all the equivalent fractions of 1/2. I missed my smartboard. Okay, I want to find all fractions are equivalent to 1/2 or representing the same amount. So if you look at 1/2 here, you can look on this side or you can look on this side and count. Okay, I'm going to try to attempt to color as the best I can. Here we go. So that's 1/2. So if you look at this chart, can you come up, take a minute, pause the video, and write as many fractions that equivalent to 1/2 as possible. Okay. Once you have it all written down, I will go over it with you guys. So pause the video and do that. Okay, so if you have written down, okay, 1/2 is equivalent to, if you see the same amount is representing, well, on thirds, it doesn't share the exact equal parts. So we have no thirds. But fourths, if you look at 4, I have 2 fourths. That's also equal to 1/2, 2 fourths. Okay, that's one of them. Okay, the next one should be 3/6. So 3/6 is also representing the same amount as 1/2. And then 4/8. If you look at 4/8, okay, 4/8 is also another equivalent fraction as 1/2. And 5/10, look at 5/10 is another one. 5/10. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. 6, 12. Okay. So all these fractions are equivalent to 1/2. And 1/2 is actually very simple, you guys. If you guys look, my strategy to recognize all equivalent or to create or generate equivalent fractions to 1/2, it's very easy. If you look at 1 is half of 2. So if you have $2, visualize the scenario, and you give away $1, didn't you give half of your money away? Right. So if you look at, if you have $4 and you give away $2, you gave half of your money away. So therefore, 2 fourths is also equivalent to 1/2. So if the numerator, my strategy is, if the numerator is half of the denominator, because the denominator represent the total, right? And then the top part, the numerator, representing the parts in questions. So if you give away $3 out of your $6, you gave away half of your money. So numerator 3 is half of 6, 4 is half of 8, 5 is half of 10, and 6 is half of 12. So all of these fractions are all equivalent to the simplest form 1/2. Fractions 1/2. All right, let's take a look at a different model. All right, name the shaded fraction. Okay, if you name 1/3, okay, 1/3 on this first model, right, you are correct. So there are 3 equal parts, one of it is shaded. So let's look at the second picture. So partition, actually, it was not supposed to be there. Partition the model to find an equivalent fraction. So remember we were folding the paper earlier, so I'm just going to pretend we folding instead of I'm going to draw a line and now I make more equal parts out of this model. So I'm making equal parts. Remember the equivalent equal parts. So now my model has how many equal parts are there? 6. Remember, if you are in my class, I always tell you guys, we are trying to tell the denominator first. Just go ahead and name the denominator first. So I have 6 equal parts, okay? And then how many are shaded? If it's asked for shaded, name the shaded part. If it's asked for non-shaded, name the non-shaded part. In this case, we're working with the shaded part. So now this model is representing as 2, 6. It's the same amount of shaded parts, but the fraction is different now, okay, because the number of equal parts is different. So therefore, what can we say about 1/3 and 3/6? 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. Okay. Oops. So 1/3 is equivalent to 6. Now you know what it looks like in the visual. Let's look at what these two fractions look like on a number line. So let's see how these equivalent fractions look on a number line. I love number line, you guys. Visuals are awesome. It just takes so much space and takes longer to demonstrate, but I love using number line. So let's go ahead and name this fraction again. So this first model is 1/3, and the second model is 2/6. And we have determined that these two fractions represent the same amount. So they are equivalent fractions. So let's see what they look like on a number line. I have 2 number lines here because I have 2 fractions to work with, so you guys can see clearly. But you can actually use 1 number line to show equivalent fraction as well. So the first model of number line, I'm going to demonstrate 1/3. 1/3 means I have to partition this into 1. Now remember, we still are working with 1 whole. So 0 and 1. This part here represents 1 whole. So I'm going to partition this 1 whole into thirds. And I need to represent 1/3. So if you've guys seen in the classroom, you guys have done this before. So we are, or you can make a plot out there and you name it, because this is 1 equal part, 2 equal parts, 3 equal parts. So 1/3, right? And this is 2/3 and 3/3. Hey, 1/3. So this from 0 to 1/3, this distance right here represent 1/3. The distance from 0. Okay, now let's look at how 2/6 is also equivalent to 1/3. Like the distance of 2/6 on a number line is also equivalent to 1/3. Same thing we did here. Remember, 6 is double of 3. So if you have 3 equal parts, now we need to make 6 equal parts. Isn't 6 double of the 3? Which means that each of the third now is partitioned into 2 equal parts. Now you have 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's label this fraction 1/6, 2/6. And then you guys can visualize the rest of them, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6. Okay, 2/6. And I need to make a plot there and to show you guys the distance of 2, 6. So 1/3 and 2, 6 share the exact same point on a number line or the exact same distance from 0. Therefore, 1/3 and 2, 6 are equivalent fraction, and this is what it looks like on a number line. All right, if you have the package with you, this is number 5 on your package from last week. I chose to go over number 5 with you guys to explore more equivalent fraction, understanding equivalent fractions. Okay, shade 6, 8 of rectangle A. So here's rectangle A, and I need to shade 6 of the 8 part. Okay, double check 2, 4, 6, 8 is this model is divided into 8 equal parts, and I need to shade 6 of them. So 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6. I miss my smart board. 5, 6, and 6, 6. I'm sorry, 6, 8. I'm sorry, scratch that. So 1, 8, 2, 8. You see how number can play trick on you. I've been thinking about the 6. So 1, 8, 2, 8, 3, 8, 4, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8. So I have here 6, 8. Okay. Now let's look at B. How many equal part B's have? 4. Okay. But we need to show equivalent fraction to 6, 8. So there are 4 equal parts. If you look at B and then you go back and look at A, the only difference between, they are the same whole. Just remember, the only difference is this partition. So if you take that line out of model A, you have model B. And right, I'm going to shade the same amount of part as A because I need to find the equivalent fraction to 6, 8. Okay. Now I've shaded, excuse that part here. Okay, now I have shaded what? 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 4 equal parts, so 3/4. So now I conclude 6, 8 is equivalent to 3/4, and this is what it looks like. Okay, if you got it right on your package, great job. All right, let's do some real life practice. Okay, have an adult or big brother or sister to help you with this task because you are going to cut. Okay, today for lunch, cut an apple. It shouldn't be there. Let me erase that. Cut the apple into halves. Okay, 2 equal parts. 2 equal parts. Then cut each half into 2 pieces. So each of your half cut into 2 pieces. Then eat 2 pieces. Okay. Then write down if you eat 2/4 or 1/2 of the apple. Okay. I will reveal the answer on my next video. That's Liam. He loves apple. He's been eating a lot of apples. So you guys should do the same. Eat your apples. Eat your fruit. Eat your vegetable. Stay healthy. Okay. Stay healthy. Stay well. I'll see you guys or talk to you guys on the next video. Have a good day.